honestly, I can't imagine the energy of a fucking Metallica concert in the late 80s. That'd be a really unique experience for sure.
Like
Oh my god.
That is a inside joke between Trevor and Trevor, ladies and gentlemen. That is only he told that joke for himself to laugh at. He knew we weren't going to laugh at it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's
Yo, I just felt all my blood rush through my head.
You were like, I don't know if I like thrash metal or whatever. You're like, I don't like thrash metal. I remember that. So
you're right.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
David, that's exactly how Trevor sounds. That was crazy.
It's just another stark reminder that the Metallica logo is flame, man. Oh my god.
The Unboxing Life podcast logo has entered the chat.
Yeah.
Fam. I get the stank face, bro. That shit is so hard, man.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 52 of the Unboxing Life podcast. Today, we're getting into it. We're reviewing the all-time classic Master of Puppets by Metallica, everybody. So
let's go.
Yeah, stick around to hear our thoughts on that classic. But first of all, I'm joined by my merry band of gentlemen, as we like to call ourselves, the master of potting himself.
Oh,
Trevor.
True. I'm not a narcissist, I promise you. I just thought it went pretty well with the album title. But we are all masters of potting here at the Unboxing Life podcast.
Yes, sir. We got Orion's belt, Mr. Alex.
Orion, that's true too. Yes.
Yeah,
Mr.
man.
O'Brien.
Shout out to the
I'm
different
here.
pronunciation. Yes, sir. We are in here. And of course, the C that should not be. Cameron.
I love it. That shit is
Yeah,
so
Cameron.
hard.
Yeah, absolutely love it. You guys came up with that largely together. I think, was it David's suggestion mainly?
It was Alex and
Alex,
me. Sort
Alex
of
and you working tag
focus
teaming it. Yeah.
grouping it.
So there you go.
Focus
The creative
grouping it.
minds of the Unboxing Life podcast coming together for some good ass memes, interpolating the if we're using that word right, the song titles over our names. So yeah, great to be here. Obviously, hype. It's 1:30 in the morning. Let's pod.
Fuck it, man.
Yeah, we got that energy though, and of course, last but not least, I guess it's David, also known as the worst name I've ever had on Zoom.
And it's the worst name you've ever had, and one you've had, it was literally absolute cucklord.
Yeah, no, Cuckler was great. This is
That one was
just
fucking funny.
hello, Ginger Messiah.
Hey guys,
That's nutty.
I am
He is the
who
false
I am.
idol.
Yeah, that's for sure. I am not a real idol. Well,
I am
Let's
not
get in.
2017 album by
that
Philip Maya,
I am
sorry.
that album. Yes,
Anyways, let's get on.
All right, we got our first wheeze of the podcast in the bag. Let's go.
Jesus.
Let's do some traditions.
Easy.
Stupid reference by me.
Dang. Okay, let's jump into our traditions. I think I'll go with me first. I was gonna get my track out of the way.
Aren't
Yeah,
some
like-
of them? Get it?
Yeah, more than one narcissist on the podcast.
Cheers.
Why? Okay, I'm gonna go with. We might have to cut that. No, it's
No.
fine. Yeah, I my brain just short circuited. But my track of the week is a personal classic. Not necessarily. I mean, a classic to some. Those who know. I think
Okay.
Trevor can attest to this one.
Ooh,
Eternal
I'm ready.
Rest by Avenged Sevenfold.
I am attesting, brother. I am in the altar attesting, brother.
We are
I am on the
testifying to this.
stand. Oh
Yeah.
my lord. This shit is
is
so fucking hard, brother.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Ginger Messiah prophesies.
I'm letting y'all know, man. I'm bringing it down. Coming down from the mountaintop, letting y'all know this is
Oh my goodness.
a banger and a half. Yeah, for all our metal fans, man, this is probably a little less known than Master of Puppets material, but
Absolutely.
god
is.
dang, just if you get a minute in and you're not convinced, I
You
don't know
kind of
what's up.
are. You might be a little insane if you get a minute in and you're just like, "Holy shit, what is happening?"
Get you
Yeah.
ears checked.
Yeah, no, this song is fucking rad, man.
What album is that off of?
This is
Waking
on
the
Waking
Fallen.
the Fallen, track 6.
Nice.
There
off
you
of their
go.
2003 album. That's their second album. I can do this all day with Event Sevenfold.
I know that you can. That's why I bothered asking the question, because I knew I would get an answer.
Yes, dude.
You know, this album has like steadily been climbing the ranks of their albums for me. Like,
yeah,
this album is so incredibly good for what it is, man. Oh my! And I hate that I have to like have a caveat to it like what it is, because you know it was recorded with like a $5,000 budget, like even lower than like Ride the Lightning was.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
crazy, yeah.
it's immaculate for what it is, man. It's a fucking metalcore masterpiece.
Yeah, it does climb so much for me. It's either it's probably tied for my third. I don't know.
Okay,
Third favorite.
that's about where I'm at with it.
Pretty great. Yeah, check it out if you're a metalhead. Goodness gracious, and you know,
You're probably a metalhead if you are tuning into this episode of our podcast.
Yeah, that would be a definite.
My speech failures aside, I kind of want to get into it with that joke, man.
Ooh, true.
Ooh, that joke. I got it for you right here. The joke is, I was taking my dog for a walk. I can't take my dog to the pond anymore because the dogs keep not the dogs. That doesn't make sense. Not the dogs. I can't take my dog to the pond, right? Because the ducks. It's the ducks.
Okay.
The ducks keep attacking my dog.
That's
And
tough.
I know that I shouldn't have gotten a purebred.
Okay.
Oh my god, man! Fucking hell, man!
That's good.
I like
I,
that one.
Dudes.
I was waiting for the rest of the joke. That was pretty good. That caught me off guard. Yeah,
Yeah. A
That was good.
purebred.
Go ahead.
purebred.
That's good. God dang, I
Yeah,
like
that's
it.
great.
White Claw number 2 for the podcast, baby boys.
Ooh, all right.
Yes.
Let's get into it with Mr. White Claw himself. With
Oh,
the quote of the
are we
episode.
doing quote? All right, so
Just reads the
As-
ingredients off the side of the White Claw can.
as longtime fans of the show would know, I had a turbulent relationship with my tradition for this show. So I will do, instead of just a random quote, I usually like to stick to song lyrics that kind of jump out at me when I hear these albums for the pod.
Mm.
And I don't know if I want to fucking do this the way I was like thinking about it, but there's a line that signals a riff on the 6th track of this album, and it's so fucking hard, and I'm like I don't deserve this song. I think it's I think it's the best song on this album. Sheesh. But it just goes, bow to leper Messiah. That's my quote, dude. That fucking riff, brother. Holy cow, man.
Dang. I love that take. Yeah.
I texted the guys, if y'all ain't breaking y'all's necks, so leper Messiah, y'all are doing it wrong. Because that shit makes me do the stanky face.
The stanky face.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
It's a face we've seen quite a bit, for sure.
I think I probably just did it to Eternal Rest, so
Yeah, I think so.
So oh well. But yeah, that's my quote of the week. Bow to Mr. Ginger Messiah
Yes, dude.
by Metallica.
God. Name. Cursed. All right.
It's so cursed.
Let's move on to Mr. Facts himself.
Ooh.
What we got cooking this week?
I don't dislike that title.
Mr. Facts.
Mr. Facts. So the fact for this week for the Master of Puppets album is that at the University of Connecticut, it is possible to become a Master of Puppets. This is to say that they literally have a graduate program that upon completion will award the student with a Master of the Arts degree in, quote, puppet arts. Courses listed within the program include Drama 5190, Internship in Puppet Arts, and Drama 5192, Advanced Hand Puppet Theater.
Is this homage to Metallica, or is this just like a complete coincidence?
It's just in their drama department.
Yeah.
You can get a master's. You can get a master's of arts, or the slightly higher degree masters of the fine arts in puppet theater, puppet arts.
Masters of Puppet.
Yeah,
That
Well,
is
I might have
hilarious, man.
I might have to last minute change my major, I think.
That's facts. I might have to go back and get another degree
Yeah,
That is
I think it's worth it.
That is a career decision. You are putting yourself into a very exact career path by going and getting that degree. I think so.
Yeah.
You are
imagine that on your resume.
You are on
The master of puppets. I am.
I am master of puppets, comma, I am.
I
am.
Excellent.
Wow. I love that.
So, yeah.
Love it.
That's,
all right. Well, with that, you want to jump into this fucking album, man? Oh my god.
Yeah. I want to get some of our stats out of the way for this freaking insane
I'm going to hit you boys with some stats. I've been studying the Wikipedia page, absolutely grinding, taking, using that Control-C, Control-V onto that Word document so we can get some notes out in front of us. So,
doing our homework.
So the one I always start with is the Billboard placing, and I can tell you that the Master of Puppets album.
Wait.
What? What's up?
37.
Your guess is 37 for the peak on the Billboard Hot 200. Trevor wanted the fact to be interactive, and I told him it wasn't, and he got all mad at me. So okay, so 37 is your guess for the peak. All right, Alex or David?
Y'all don't have to do it if y'all don't want to, but I want
8.
Okay,
this is for the song, huh?
No, this is for the album.
For the album.
Oh.
Yeah. None of the songs were released as singles, I don't think. Which
okay.
Technically doesn't matter, but
insane. 1.
Yeah, right. Number 1 on the Billboard 200.
For it.
Indeed, Master of Puppets peaked at number 29 on the Billboard 200.
Oh, dang!
So
I was so close. Damn.
Yo, 29 plus 8 is 37, though.
Dang.
That's crazy.
Damn.
The mind meld right now. Right.
Doing the maths.
So yeah, it was according to Wikipedia, it quote more than 500,000 copies were sold in its first year, even with virtually no radio airplay and no music videos. This is largely because they opted to promote the album by touring heavily as openers for Ozzy Osbourne's tour, as opposed to putting out a single or a music video. So they toured really, really heavily opening for him, and they talk about how, that's very common in the music industry of like their fans then become your fans, and so they would come for Ozzy, leave Metallica fans. So yeah, it was the very first platinum album of the thrash not trash metal. Jesus Christ!
Whoa!
Thrash metal
of the trash.
No
joke.
Thrash metal genre. I missed the H in there.
You said it was the first platinum thrash metal album?
Yeah, ever. Yeah.
That's a stat and a half. Holy shit.
Insane,
on top of that, it went 6 times platinum in the U.S., confirmed in 2003, and then certified 6 times platinum in Canada as well.
What, for sales of 7 copies?
What?
Like their thresholds are much lower than ours, because platinum in the U.S. is 1 million copies sold.
Yeah,
and Canada, I'm assuming it would probably be around like 70 to 80,000.
Oh wow, interesting. Wow, okay. Yeah. I didn't know that, so I'll look that up and figure that out. And then just more rankings. Rolling Stone ranked it number 167 on their 2012 Best 500 Albums of All Time list, and number 2 on their 2017 Best Metal Albums of All Time list.
Do you know what number 1 for metal album?
I do. Do you want to guess at that as well?
Is it? Well, I don't know.
Wait. The Rolling Stone?
In 2017, Rolling Stone magazine put out a Best Metal Albums of All Time list. And Master of Puppets was number 2, and number 1 was a different album.
Number 1 was what?
A different album.
Shit. It's got to be like a Black Sabbath album or something.
The best critically acclaimed, apparently, album of all time.
I don't know it.
Yeah.
You're gonna say it, it's gonna smack me.
I couldn't tell you an album if you held the gun to my head. So.
Go with your gut there, Trevor. I'm telling you.
Is it the self-titled Black Sabbath?
No.
Is it? I don't know their album names.
Yeah, I mean,
it's Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Okay, so that's the one with like Iron Man and shit like that on it.
Probably. I have no idea. I didn't look it up.
Did you look at the cover art by any chance?
No, it was just in the Wikipedia article, so that's that.
Damn, we got them guesses on point though.
Yeah. And for my final bit of prestige fact, In 2015, Master of Puppets, which was almost my fag for the episode because it's actually really cool. In 2015, Master of Puppets became the first metal recording to be selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the National Recording Registry for being, quote, culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. So
Yeah.
it's in there with, I should have looked up like
T-Pab and fucking Illmatic.
I think those might be in there as well, but I was gonna say, the Library of Congress has, like the Odyssey and like, like all outrageous works like that. So it's basically
The Odyssey.
yeah, like the greatest works of literature and art like known to man are copied and put into the Library of Congress. So it's a very cool
what
honor
a
to
fucking
have.
stat, man.
Yeah.
By the way, I looked up the Canada threshold for platinum sold. I said, what did I say? 75,000?
I think so.
80,000? Did I say
Canada
80?
or UK?
70 or 80, you said.
You said
It
70
is 80.
or 80.
It is
Oh,
80.
wow.
Wow, really?
Okay.
Nice in the UK.
So I'm on fucking point right now. I ain't gonna lie.
So that's 6 times platinum in Canada, and it's less than 500,000 sold.
Which is
Wow.
gold in the U.S. 500,000 copies is gold. So there's a much higher standard
Wow.
in this country versus others, and that's just because of the way that we consume the way that we consume media.
Yeah.
We just have so much
also-
more disposable income.
Yeah, it also
spend,
said it
so,
went gold in the UK, but I didn't look up what that was.
yeah, probably like 100K.
Also, I would also think it has something to do with the population difference. What's the population difference between us and them? I don't know.
Us in
I
Canada,
I don't know, but yeah, but
not as much,
several million, but not that much. I don't think.
Yeah.
I'd guess if we're doing guessing
Canada
games,
population is 37 million. So yes, we have
So massive.
10 times the basically of the population they have.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
so that's why.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense too, yeah. Something
There you
goes
go.
diamond, a third of the country has heard it. By our standards.
And if I had to
Jesus Christ.
if I had to define countries by music taste, metal would not be what I assign to Canada, for sure.
No, I would
Yeah,
assign
they're-
Drake, The Weeknd, and Bieber.
yeah, literally.
yeah.
It's very, very randomly. I remember, like Scandinavia, that sort of area of the world loves metal and stuff like that, and they got a lot of good metal coming out of there. And I think
Europe kills like
I think
death
it was,
metal and all that kind of shit.
I think it was Finland that it peaked at the at number 3 on their charts. The album.
Yeah. Dude we knew in
So,
high
yeah,
school
they
was super into Swedish death metal, I think.
Yeah, they crush metal.
Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went and saw Amon Amarth, which I actually got to see a couple of years ago with Slayer, and god damn, they kill. So,
Dang. Nice.
Yeah, no, that death metal is the shit. So, with that out of the way,
There we go.
we're talking about some thrash metal, baby. Some
talk
fucking
about
good old thrash
This
metal.
album, which I forgot to forgot to do at the beginning of the podcast.
Love
There
it.
is. Got the
Let's put it to the
CD.
camera because I want to talk about the cover art a little bit.
Okay.
Yes,
you have-
sir.
The damage on there, but
Yes, fucking sir,
it's a
man.
little case. Yeah. Cover art.
What a classic cover
Awesome.
art. Did you guys get a chance to kind of examine the cover art? And
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I've
a-
seen homie's initials at the bottom right.
oh, you saw? I didn't see that.
Mm.
There you go.
It's like in the
That's another-
grass.
His initials.
The artist's initials is like it's like DB or something. It's in the grass.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Nice.
right.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
there's-
Go ahead.
There's a lot of little things that you can see on here. One being the army helmet that's on the left side of one of the crosses.
Yes.
It's a graveyard with like a blood red sky, and it's got the master of puppets, and there's strings attached to every gravestone, and there's also dog tags in the middle that hang on one of the crosses.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's pretty
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
heavy, man. How'd you guys feel about it when you saw it?
I've always loved it. It took me forever to see the hands and like the strings. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Like, it took me so long from like listening to this. Like it wasn't too recent, but yeah, those hands up on the top. I just don't. My eyes don't gravitate to that, but it's great. Love
Yeah.
the detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right on.
cool. It's interesting. That's when I looked. I was doing some research about the artist, and when he was commissioned to make the design, he didn't like listen to any music from the album. Like
Wait,
he
really?
just they kind of gave him the concept, and he just made the art for it, like without listening to anything. Even though he could have.
Yeah, I mean that's you can kind of do that if they tell you the themes of the album.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say that he just like got commissioned to do art and like only knew like the album title or something like that, because that
Yeah.
would be fire. Like
Yeah, that would
he
be
just kind of
absurd.
read their minds.
Yeah, if you had no idea that Disposable Heroes existed, and then you were just like, I'm just gonna make it the album art basically that song is
Right.
how it feels to me.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
And like the military hat on the
Yep.
cross was a suggestion from the band for him to include.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting. Definitely interesting background. Yeah, and it's cool especially when obviously the creators have agency in the artwork and stuff. They don't just send it off and say, give us whatever and we don't give a fuck. They actually want it to, be polished and be representative, because when you're in back in the 80s, you got to go to a record store and have that album cover. So yeah,
Right.
I can imagine the album art being very, very important to actually selling records back in the day.
Right.
Even now.
It's just another stark reminder that the Metallica logo is flame, man. Oh my god, that shit
true.
is so like in your face, flagrant. Like, look at me, bitch. Like, it's so hard.
It's pretty
Yeah,
hot.
I was watching this documentary on this album too, and they were talking about their early days of just going to like bars and performing and like getting together. And it seems like they had the logo ironed out like super early on, which is dope. It's like great. I don't know who made it.
If you have a vision for it, just fucking go with it, man.
Yeah,
Honestly.
great. Yeah,
The Unboxing Life podcast logo has entered the chat.
yeah.
We have had our logo for almost a year now, as well as the font, and I'm still very much head over heels for it.
I'm in love with it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out
sure.
designer Amo over there. Cheese it.
Yeah.
Sir.
Thank you.
That's-
Except I don't have a
commissioned him to
discography
do
like
it.
this guy.
We commissioned him to do it before he was on the podcast, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
True.
dang.
He was our day one. So.
Mm.
That's absolutely right.
With that out of the way, you want to jump into this album? There's 8 tracks on here. It's another 8-track album, which is weird, but it has more material than a lot of these so-called albums want to give you.
So
And
called.
So
Nope,
called out.
all killer, no filler, baby.
You sound
That
like
is
a real old head right now.
It's
Hey, man. I'm trying to be as boomer as possible. This shit is 35 years old.
we got an average song
Dang.
length of what, like at least seven
It's like
minutes,
6
I think.
minutes. Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, you have the mix of shortest song has to be like around 5.
5. Yeah, I think Damage Inc. might be this.
The shortest song is Battery at 5:13,
There you go.
What's Damage Inc? Like 5:30.
5:32.
Oh,
God.
yeah, man, I'm so fucking good.
Yes.
I'm the master of body.
There you go.
We are
yes,
out here in
So
the
fucking
streets.
kick it off. Like, let's start with Battery.
Yeah. Another acoustic guitar intro, just like
Yep.
like
Yeah,
Fire
They're
with
just
Fire.
continuing the theme.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
that immediately. They start the album off the exact same way. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess.
There's like 3 guitars like layered over this intro,
Yeah.
and apparently, this like there's conflicting opinions on what this song is really about. But the one that I saw that was the most interesting was that they played a lot of clubs on this street called Battery Street in San Francisco, where they're like actually from.
Mhm.
So like they made a whole fucking song about like the clubs that they used to play when they were, early on in their career. I thought that was fucking dope. Like no one knows what they're saying. Like they're just saying Battery.
Yeah.
You have no idea what they're talking about, but it's hard as fuck.
I think that's accurate. I was watching something with them, that little documentary with them talking about it. I think they mentioned like that street and that it was based on that. And just like the lyrics are like the energy of the freaking shows and stuff and the feedback they get from it and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like just
I had to fix it in my head because I was thinking like an electric battery, like a like a AA battery, when it's actually
Right.
like battery, like assault and battery is like actually what it's more
That's another
inclined
one.
with.
Yeah.
The genius interpretation that I read off was like the that battery is basically just a I'm forgetting the fucking word, Animal Farm allegory for their fans. And so it's like, they talk about, rushing over the boundary where they like literally like shake and destroy the like the bike fences that they put in front of the between the crowd and the stage at shows and stuff like that. And it's just talking about how fucking outrageously rowdy their fans get at shows and stuff like that. And it's honestly, I can't imagine the energy of a fucking Metallica concert in the late '80s. That's pretty. That'd be a really unique experience for sure. To be
another interpolation of the song would be like, I'm just looking up the battery war definition, and like during the 18th century, battery began to be used as an organizational term for a permanent unit of artillery in peace and war.
That makes the most sense actually. As opposed to assault and battery.
The battery
of...
and that does make the most sense, because this album is entirely about anti-war.
We definitely get into these themes. It's an interesting fact about them, their Metallica's live performances. I've heard them talk about, how much they love it and the energy they get from it. They have also, I believe, had the biggest live performance in history. I think they performed to, there's no like official like count, but it's anywhere from like 500,000 to 1 million people. They got flown out to a Russian airfield, and it was a free concert. And so they performed to this gigantic crowd. I feel like it had to be, I'm not going to get it wrong with the timing, but it was like, Master of Puppets and all this stuff. They did like all their crazy iconic songs. It's like,
that's cool as fuck, man.
It's insane. Yeah. I can't imagine what that must be like.
And the fact that it might even be audible at that range of 1 million people, like being like however long, maybe a mile, however long it takes to fit 1 million people in an airfield. Jesus fuck.
Crazy as frick.
Do you know?
Cool as hell.
Yeah. I doubt it, but do either of you guys know how many people attend Coachella off the top of your head? Because that's like the largest mass of people I've ever seen video of, like at any sort of festival. So I'm just trying to because I can't like accurately visualize like 500,000 people like in one place. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
250,000 people in 2017.
Get tickets to Coachella.
Coachella has nothing on Metallica.
and that's like a massive selection of fields,
it is
with
the like
separate stages
festival.
and everything. That's why I was saying, is because that's the one I've seen the most video of. So. Can visualize.
It's Warped Tour for like mainstream pop and R&B and indie and stuff like that. So,
there you go.
So like eight stages going on at one time. It's fucking nuts, but
yeah, that's
insane.
That's crazy. I'm glad you said that, David. They got a couple of ridiculous live performing records with like most people played to, and the one I shared with them being on all 7 continents, having played a show in Antarctica. So that's crazy that they hold records like that for live performance. That's
yeah. That seemed like a big part of their identity. Yeah, in Russia, it's nuts. That's kind of how I interpret this song. But I'm sure I think James Hetfield, he likes to have things with multiple interpretations, and likes to write things that way. So very cool. Yeah, big fan. To me, it's just, I don't know which I like better, but it's kind of like an upgraded Fight Fire with Fire to me. I think I like it a little better. And it's like, okay, you're just like punching me in the face, and it's super fast and straightforward.
I agree with
I
that.
thought you were gonna say that it was like toe and toe with Damage Incorporated, which is like it's like the same song to me, honestly.
They're
quite similar, yeah.
Straightforward thrash.
Which is what I love, man. That's why I love Fight Fire with Fire. It's like it ages so well. Like there's no need to polish it. It's just straight up metal.
Yeah,
like it's hard. It's not your typical hard metal where like, they'll be singing like Judas Priest or like a Black Sabbath where they're singing over, great instrumentation. These guys are shouting at you, and it's awesome.
Yeah. I was gonna say they are just yelling at you, but not like screaming. They're just they do what they do.
They do what they do. Yeah. No, Battery is hard. Great fucking intro track. How do you feel about it, Alex?
I'm trying to think about how I feel about it compared to the first intro track of Ride the Lightning. I really like that intro track.
Yeah,
I like Fight Fire with Fire more, but
I would have to say that, but I don't think that takes away from it at all. So no.
That just shows you like how great they are at writing intro tracks.
Yeah.
Like they just have bangers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Any other takes on this particular track?
Not really.
Yeah, it'd just be a crazy one to see live, because they in the one they talk about, like bang on the fences and start a mosh pit and all this stuff. So like you just play this and the crowd is guaranteed just like fired up for the next 2 hours.
I will
Right.
say, and I guess this song is like the perfect example of this. This song is like one of the only songs that on this album that has like a lead like guitar that breaks off from the main riff and just like starts shredding out of nowhere. This and I think Damage Incorporated does it. Obviously, a couple songs do it, but
Damage
like
Incorporated.
not to the degree that Ride the Lightning does. This album is much more riff focused and like songwriting focused, and I mean that in like the best way possible. But they don't. It's not as sporadic as Ride the Lightning was or is. It's more contained, but it's like it's still violent, and it's more riff incorporated than it is, branching off and just completely shredding the fucking fretboard for no reason. Like there's like a 4-second sequence on Battery where he like Kirk just goes ham like super quick, and then it just goes right back to the riff, and that's all you get. There's no solos on this album.
There's a few, yeah. It's that's a good observation because it is more like that. They have that different focus. There's definitely a few solos that I really love, but it's like everything is like written as like to transition into one another, and it's like you have these crazy riffs layering on top of each other. Disposable Heroes has like 3 riffs before he even starts like saying anything. It's like, dang, it's just crazy.
And that's a great point, because that's another part of this album. Like every song, the vocals don't start until at least a minute and a half like in each song, basically, which I love. They don't give a fuck about your time, and they use it wisely.
Yeah. That's pretty great. I was reading as we're going into the second track. It's pretty relevant. I was seeing that they were saying that like on Ride the Lightning, they had longer songs, but they didn't have the refined songwriting quite there, like they felt. So they would cut like a minute or 2 of each song. Yeah, dang.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I poured another White Claw, and it was just like smell like just fucking rape me. Jesus.
When the White Claw hits, that's tough.
I'm sorry.
Are
I didn't mean
you blowing on your drink?
I wanted to make sure the scent wasn't going to overpower my sentence again.
Such a
Jesus
baby. Good lord.
Not a baby.
You got overpowered by White Claw smell, bro. Get out of my face.
Bam! It went into my throat. What are you talking about?
I'm fucking with you, obviously.
Come on now.
All right. So anyway, you were talking about.
Oh yeah, David was going ham.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. It was an interesting thing that like they felt like they could write longer, do whatever the frick they wanted, because they felt like they refined that skill even more. Like I even thought it was there on Ride the Lightning, but they were just like, no, we can just write 8.5-minute songs, and as long as it flows together, it's not going to get boring or whatever. Like,
right,
just keeps moving. Yeah. So which leads me into Master of Puppets. I feel like
Ooh.
Quite directly,
dude. When I heard, okay, so I've heard this song like so many times. Like everyone has heard this song, but when I listen to it in the album, it just hits different, and it hits different in a way where I immediately thought of Doom 1993. I was playing this in the group or the Discord chat earlier, and that riff, that little main riff that they do, like when it finally starts kicking off, it sounds like Doom 1993, like all the way. Like Doom is so inspired by them in terms of their soundtrack. It was so good, man.
Yeah. Written and printed on my notes. Before we were in Discord and you pulled up the bot and we're like, and you played the Zoom OTS Doom OTS Zoom OTS. That's just the Unboxing Life podcast, honestly.
OST, right?
OST, original soundtrack. Yeah, that one. So you played that and you were like, okay, now keep that in your head. And then you played Master of Puppets, and I was like, yeah, literally written on my notes. I have the main riff in the beginning. I get Doom soundtrack vibes. It's like, so yeah, same thought. It's like very clear and obvious. And I like that a lot because obviously. Fuck yes to the Doom soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's literally the same riff, but just a couple notes like off, like the way they strum it. It's like it's fucking 1-to-1 basically.
I thought they were just doing a cover of Master of Puppets and putting it in there. Yeah, just
right.
Yeah, that's when I heard it.
Yo, this song is kind of long though. 8 minutes. Damn!
If that's your take, we're gonna have a long time.
Let me tell you what happened. I had it on through one of my listens. I just had it on in the background here. I was doing some other stuff, and then I had to leave the room and go do something else and come back. I'm like, what song is it on? And I'm like, I'm still on track 2. What the heck? It's the same song.
It's a short album, but it's a long album.
It's I was gonna say that it's the shortest long album I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, by the time you finish Master of Puppets, it's just the second
like you're
track.
14. Yeah, you're 14 minutes in, and you're only on track 3.
Track
it's like,
3.
Fuck me, man.
Yeah, it's like, God
but
dang.
to your point, I will say that, God damn it, they don't waste a fucking second, man. It's like they're building on riff upon riff, and it's just they build onto their verse to the bridge to the chorus, the bridge to the fucking solo to the another riff. Like, you wanted another riff, it's alphabet soup of riffs, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, that is not a lie, because oh my god, the way they do the hard stuff for like, I don't know, a full length of a song, and then it just stops and goes soft, like lovely melodic, just like that section, and then it just from that guitar solo just builds back up, and then just it's heavier and heavier, and then just booms like right back into the original riff. Is so insane.
Right.
Like, oh my god, and just the complex. I don't know how complex it is to freaking play or whatever, but just how it sounds. It's just like, they're playing this insane riff, and then when the chorus hits the oh my god, that hits like sheesh, that's nuts. Yeah, this is one of my favorite metal songs ever, like top 3 probably.
Damn.
I freaking
holy shit.
Wow.
Well, I was re-listening like,
wow.
Oh my god, how am I ever not listening to this song? It's freaking,
right.
It's
no,
just,
this song is immaculate on all fronts.
Yeah,
it even has a beautifully melodic like minute and a half of do 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 do, and it's like dual harmonics. It's just, bruh, it's so good.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see like if anyone didn't like this song. I feel like it's just a crossover hit. Like, I mean, I'm sure obviously there are people who don't, but like it's just like this. Like, I would show this to someone like, all right, this is metal. This is why I love metal. Like the entire genre. Like, check this out. I think it's perfect.
I'm with you, man. I was riding to Home Depot to get some boxes when I was moving, and Rocio was in the car, and I was playing this album, and I just turned to her when I'm at a red light, and I'm like, this has no right being as hard as it is in 1986, man. Like, I could totally see this being hard as shit in 2016 or 2018, but 86?
Yeah,
and you're putting this shit out?
That's actually absurd to think that they quite literally invented this sound, basically. Like that, like that they were the first to ever do it. I know they were in parallel with you guys talk about the big 4 of thrash metal.
But even like the big 4, they're not similar. Like almost in any way. Like in at least my like, don't shoot me if y'all like have actual similarities with these bands. But from my very quick slim like walkthrough of these bands, Slayer is completely different from Metallica. Like, they just write songs completely differently. Yeah, Slayer wants to like completely like destroy your ears with a barrage of sound, and Metallica is not like that. They're like melodic songwriters. It's awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, all that said, I'm in both your guys' boats, but I'm a little in Alex's boat. I think that song could be like 45 seconds shorter or a minute shorter.
I think y'all are wrong as fuck.
There's just a couple parts where they repeat like the like obey your master part, and it's the same exact riff still, and it's like they do it 7 times, and I think if they did it 5, it would just be a little less. Like, I'm like, okay, let's move to the next part of the song, like a little bit before they end up doing it. So it's hardly, a fatal wound to it. I still love the song. It's crazy to me that it's top 3 for you.
I didn't think that was going to happen.
Not because I don't think that's like a fair take, but that's just like, I didn't see that coming, honestly. That's cool. That's cool. You were saying earlier, Trevor, that there's not a lot of solos. I don't know what defines a solo necessarily. But there are definitely places that I marked that they just start fucking like shredding super fucking hard. In this song, it's at 5:45, so like back middle of the song, which is my favorite part of it. When they're like probably from like 4 minutes in to like 6.5, I think is the strongest part of the song when they're outside of the of the
So
chorus.
there is a solo on this song.
Yeah.
It's not billed like a solo until like he breaks out from the do 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 that little loop that he does,
Yeah.
and then he goes that all that part is like a solo. Like that's like a traditional solo where
Yeah.
he just breaks away and he does his own thing.
Yeah, it's I was confused as to think about it because it was like from my extensive experience playing Rock Band for the PS2 as a 10-year-old, or probably even younger than that. When it was a solo, it was like everyone else got less notes, and the guy doing the solo got significantly more. Like think like Danny California, like the fucking guitar solo on that, or like Freebird, obviously. Like it's very obviously like just that guy popping off. So the fact that
Freebird
like,
is like a 6-minute guitar solo.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
with 3 minutes of vocals.
yeah, that song is I forget. How
Freebird
long.
might be one of the best songs ever written, but
Yeah,
that's
probably.
another tape.
Probably might
One
do,
of the best guitar solos, I'd say, at least.
Might do a Leonard Skinner album.
There's a
someday.
reason why like shouting Freebird at a concert is a meme.
Yeah,
Like that song is the shit.
yeah.
But we're not here to
Like
talk about
covers.
Leonard Skinner.
Anyway.
We're here to talk about Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I think the material is also worth talking about. It's about which is different for a rock band to talk about how it's about the struggles and pains and how terrible drug addiction is and how it's most likely heroin that they're talking about because they talk about needles and stuff like that at one point.
There's also a reference to cocaine. It says "cut your breakfast on a mirror."
Nice. Yeah.
I never knew this. I didn't know the song was about drugs for the time.
I didn't either.
Until I looked it up, I didn't either. Yeah.
Veins that pump with fear, sucking dark is clear. Jesus.
Yeah.
I thought this was. I thought the song was totally about anti-war.
Yeah, I did too because of the obviously the Master of Puppets, and then it's the cover art is like the Master of, and then obviously we get later down the line Disposable Heroes, which is I figure those songs go hand in hand, but this one actually is about drug abuse.
Holy shit, it is.
Yeah.
So it talks about more like is all you need.
Yeah, it talks about in the chorus. I forget the exact line. It's like your life is like taking your life away or something like that. Where's what's that line? It's
your
like
dedicated to how I'm killing you. Like
your life burns faster.
Your life burns faster. That's what it is. Yeah,
right,
So it talks about how the drugs are like slowly killing you, and that to feel better because you're not taking drugs is to take more drugs, and it's that vicious circle. So yeah,
I guess because he also says like obey your master. Like in a way, the drugs is the master.
Right.
Not in a way, like literally 1-to-1. 1-to-1, I'd say.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
y'all just fucking threw a hammer in my wrench or my spokes, man. I just got tumbled off. Yeah, I just got tumbled off my bike. That's hard, man.
Yeah,
pretty great.
It's cool. That definitely improved the song for me, I think, as well. To for them to because that's it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll, dude. Like that's the motto, and so like for them to have a deeply anti-drug song is really cool.
It's literally a metal band in the mid '80s talking about how like, freaking. It's not
Coke
even like
heroin
cheesy,
will ruin your life.
Yeah, it's clearly. I mean, I think there's a place of experience with a lot of them. I know James Hetfield has dealt with certain like addiction things. I think maybe alcoholism. So just knowing that they dealt with it and just like this freaking insane, gigantic song about like this is the cycle of what happens and like it comes back and it's like, it's the lyrics are, God,
speak for themselves.
Yeah,
another little.
Just even looking at them, man. I wanted to do like a breeze through of these lyrics because you hear it and you don't get to understand everything that he says. Like there's so much happening in this album, but just looking, man.
Yeah, you're inundated with so much noise. It's hard to like interpret the lyrics at the same time as being like deep and meaningful, especially the way it comes across. But it's really good.
Yeah,
damn, that's dope. That's
another little fun fact there. They definitely were alcoholics, most of them or all of them. Because,
I think I pointed it out. There was like the guy was like alcoholics or alcoholica or whatever.
I have that. So it's Metallica was noted by the media for their excessive drinking habit while touring and earned the name Alcoholica. The band members occasionally even wore satirical T-shirts reading Alcoholica, and on the back it said "Drank 'em all." Yeah.
Jeez. There you go.
So they just fully fucking lean into it. Yeah.
We are 43 minutes in and we're only on track 2. That just shows you how goddamn good this album is.
That's what Master of Puppets was always going to be. It was always going to be a fucking ridiculously long pod for a ridiculously long not ridiculously long, honestly, verifiably long, and
Yeah.
album.
Uh,
But yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
very poetic. God dang. Like to your guys' point. I can't pick up on everything. Jesus, on every single word
Ew.
he's saying. You can't pick up on any words I'm saying because I'm not saying words. But he's just there's the freaking instrumentation is just like blowing your eardrums out. But just God, like when he comes back in the third verse, freaking hell is worth all that natural habitat just to rhyme without a reason. Like, gee, your never-ending maze drift on numbered days. Now your life is out of season. Like applying that to drug abuse. Like you had the crazy fast part of the song where it's just like going through it. The slow part could almost be seen as the come down, and then it's like you realize like at this point you're so hooked to it, your life is just like not even like not
and then he wants
relevant.
another hit for the chorus.
Yeah, right. Come crawling
Damn.
faster, like
True.
faster and faster every time. Back to the like.
I will occupy. I will help you die. I will run through you. Now I rule you too. And that part of the song when he just belts that note, I will help you die. Like,
yeah,
oh my lord.
Yeah, I think I came into this like, and the last album review, like thinking that Metallica is mostly instrumentation. They're known for being rockers. Having good guitar, good drum, whatever. I didn't expect them to be as good of lyricists as they are, and I guess that's like almost disrespect in a way, like not thinking that, but it's like it actually surprises me.
Go back to Ride the Lightning, and holy shit,
it's crazy.
Their lyrics on there are fucking phenomenal as well.
Yeah, for sure. We talked about that at length.
Yeah, I feel
like I had to come more prepared for this album. Because I only gave Ride the Lightning a good 5 spins or whatever. This one I gave a good 10, and I feel much more confident in my takes about this album. But son of a bitch,
son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I gotta say. You got so many things that feed into the appreciation of an album too. Just personal listening and all these crazy stats about it. It's nuts. So I mean, this album is just one of those that has it all. God dang, you could just read books about this album. It's kind of nutty.
Want to go to track 3?
Yes, let's go to the worst track on the album.
Yes. Okay. Thank God. I thought I was gonna be a villain.
Yeah, I knew someone else would have this take.
I hate this track.
My only note is
this track bores me to shit. Man.
They continue to flex that they're big fans of H.P. Lovecraft and Call of Cthulhu. Like that's all it is. Is like, by the way, another Cthulhu track, which the Cthulhu track on the other one I actually liked a lot because that was like Orion on this one.
Yeah.
Just
it's
the instrumentation.
Exactly like Orion.
But yeah, this one is I actually misheard a lyric in this one as well.
Oh God.
It was like it's in darkness you dwell, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
In darkness he dwell, or something like that. And I heard it as like you would hear a news headline, like a psychopath breaks loose and like kills people. It was like I heard it as like in darkness. Or in madness, he killed 12. Like I thought it was like they were talking about some random. Like I was like,
are you okay?
I was like, are they talking about? Are they talking about some outrageous news story in which some like how they were like the Slender Man stabbings and stuff like that? I was like, was there some ridiculous shit where some like Cthulhu weirdo like went and attacked?
No, he didn't come on 12 individuals. Like.
Oh my God!
That is a inside joke between Trevor and Trevor, ladies and gentlemen. That is only he told that joke for himself to laugh at. He knew we weren't going to laugh at it.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! That's
I just felt all my blood rush through my head.
Yeah, it looks like it too. Yeah. You look like a freaking tomato.
I am the Ginger Messiah.
It's him. It's him, dude. Swap names right now. I dare you.
No, this track is awful though. It has. Like I swear, like I wanted to like open the pod up with like they should have named this album 49 minutes of greatness because 6 minutes of this album is boring as fuck.
So,
I hate this song, and I put myself through the song every time thinking it would wow me, like maybe it would like grow on me. It does nothing. It has the same 90-second loop 4 times, and they don't do anything.
The fact that he like does the same delivery each like 2 bars, like da, 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 da,
Dude,
da.
like, stop it! It's not even that good.
Yeah, I don't think it's garbage, but it's so easily my least favorite.
Yeah,
pointing that it's not like all fire, but
I can agree with that. Alex, is this your favorite track on the album?
No. I wonder what it could be.
How tragic that would fucking be if we're all just like, yo,
That would
this
be
song is
hilarious.
a waste of time. It's the weakest, and you're like, guys, I kind of like it. I kind of.
The only thing I'm a little bit upset about is the disrespect to Cameron, as that is his name. But
Yeah, I was like, that's a little tough. I didn't know, like, naming myself this, that we were gonna just like call it the worst track. I mean, I felt it was the weakest. I didn't feel any like special type of way about it, really. But
Yeah, I
'cause
like.
they-
I mean, I
yeah.
like the title. It's that's
Yeah,
cool. Whatever.
yeah.
But I don't know.
Dude, this song is just, it's so fucking boring, man.
All right.
God.
Well, all that being said,
Why?
if no one has anything else, I think we can go to track 4. We made up for all the time we spent on Master of Puppets by just not
Right.
spending any time on the thing that should not be.
Right.
Yes,
So there you go.
yeah, that's what it should not be. We're not spending no time on it.
There you go.
Spend no
Yeah.
time on that shit.
an appropriate
Yeah.
title.
If
It
you're
should not
if you're a Cthulhu stan, this might be for you, but it's not for us.
Yeah.
Track 4 is Welcome Home Sanitarium.
Mhm.
The clear radio cut of the album, in my humble opinion eyes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if they made anything for the radio, which I did, I don't know, based on how they talk about it, but that's up to interpretation. But it would be this, yeah. Which I still love.
This is Master of Puppets version of Fade to Black, but not as good.
Interesting.
Which I like this track, and I don't want to shit on it.
Yeah. I think this is one of my favorites on here. I'm not sure.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm a fan.
I had a hard time ranking
I
them.
love I love the instrumentation on here. Like, there's such a soulful intro of the guitar, like just going ham for like 40 seconds, and he's just speaking on another level. But I feel like the verses could be a little more powerful. But once it gets into the hook, I think it's fine.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about it is how it's like it's the softest song on there, and then when you get into the hook, it like amps up to like more of a metal track just for the hook, which is great. That surprised the frick out of me the first time I heard it.
Which is exactly why I liken it to like a Fade to Black, because that's how I feel about Fade to Black. They both have like very melodic intros. They both have softer verses that lead into harder hooks.
Yeah, which is another one of my favorite Metallica tracks, which we won't get to. One exemplifies that very much. One is amazing. Jesus
One,
God.
do you know how much One reminds me of Buried Alive?
Ooh, okay. I never made
the first half being like a more melodic approach to a song, and then the second half being, I'm gonna fucking rip your face off. Like,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Man.
Next time you get some time, listen to One, and then go to Buried Alive, and then like the transition into just like the super powerful like one note chug riff.
Yeah,
it'll speak to you on a different level.
What's Buried Alive?
Buried Alive is Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay.
Yeah. You know the song. It's on Nightmare.
Yeah.
It is track 4 on Nightmare.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah.
One is like
ago.
one of their more legendary tracks too. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people point to that as being like one of their best songs they've ever written. So
Yeah, it's an amazing song.
facts.
Out here about to talk about a track that's not on the album longer than we talked about a track that is on the album.
That's how it goes, man.
That's fine.
Metallica's
No, I'm
the
just
shit,
I'm just
man.
memeing, yeah.
Metallica is so fucking good.
It's
And
one of-
I'm pissed at David. You know why? I have a bone to pick with David,
You're
because he let me. Fam, I fucking hate David, because David lets me go a whole fucking like however long calling myself a metalhead. I ain't listened to Master of Puppets yet. I ain't made a dime yet.
Time, yeah.
You know that
Feels the
metalcore that
game.
shit was alright. My shit was more John Blaze than that. Like,
Jesus. There we go. No, dude, look, I told you it was good. I told you.
okay, so David will say that he told me that it was good, but he didn't do it. He didn't do it nearly enough. He wasn't annoying, in your face. Like, listen to this shit, you stupid fuck.
You were like, I don't know if I like thrash metal or whatever. You're like, I don't like thrash metal. I remember that. So
You're right.
Yeah,
You're probably
David,
right.
David, that's exactly how Trevor sounds. That was crazy.
Do it again.
No, it wasn't.
I don't like thrash metal.
Yeah, it's 1-to-1, bro. I can't tell the difference between y'all.
Yeah, no. My bad. I mean, I should have been more annoying. Some people don't like to be annoyed about stuff. So
Yeah.
I want to be annoyed with music, because I like to push my musical taste on other people, because I feel like that's like half the value, if not more, is sharing it. Like, I got such a burst of serotonin, like when I told you guys, like, yo, if y'all ain't listening to Leper Messiah this way, y'all are doing it wrong. Like, I love doing that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you on that.
I like sharing things. Like, so please, by all means, tell me to listen to an album that you think I should.
Gotcha.
Because I feel like I'm the only one that's doing that. Like,
no, I've certainly done it with you in the past, but
for sure.
Not with Metallica, to be fair. Yeah.
No, but we're here, and I'm thankful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sanitarium, pretty great.
Yeah. It's kind of funny to me that they, there's a bit of metaphor and euphemism throughout the song, but they don't use any sort of euphemism for what they're talking about. They just call it a sanitarium, which is like the basically scientific word for like a mental hospital back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's they literally just yell sanitarium.
Sanitarium.
Yeah, like that. That's how it is. So yeah, it's love myself. Yeah. Yet again, we talked about the lyricism earlier, or I did, and we did, obviously. Yet another politically charged, good old fashioned social commentary song condemning the state of mental hospitals in the 80s, and not that the average mental hospital today has gotten much better in the last 40 years or whatever, but obviously there's good ones and bad ones, but
yeah, it's definitely
we're largely in a mental health crisis as a society, so
interesting.
We've been in one for a while.
Yeah, love to hear
definitely
it get brought up.
Lyric that always stood out to me was they keep me locked up in this cage. Can't you see that's why my brain says rage? I think is what he said.
Yeah, and then it leads into the hook.
Largely the point they make is like the conditions just like exacerbate mental illness. It doesn't do anything to help. And the one where he's like, I should have written down some of the lyrics. I'm a bonehead, but he says about like this will cure this. They think this will cure us from our hell or something like that. Like pull us out of our hell, and it's like no, it's just this is hell. Like we're just living in it. So,
right. Yeah.
They see it right. They see it well, but they think this saves us from our hell.
Yeah. There you go. And so it's like you just stick the crazy people in the loony bin, and then that's the best thing for them when it's actually kind of the worst.
Oh
no, keep going.
Well, it's just the whole idea of a sanitarium is such a. It's like it's necessary for certain things. Like I guess people would disagree on certain. It's such a hard topic to like. I guess the main thing is just the conditions of it have historically been so bad, and also like it should never be used as anything but a last resort. I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Like it's such a crazy thing to think about. I've even known people don't know. I got a. My degree is in psychology. Just people you'll meet, like grad students and professors, like have worked in mental hospitals a lot of the time, like people teaching you, and it'll just be, I think like I don't know the name of the one that's closest to FSU, but just a very large one in Florida, and everyone who works there just like it is god awful. Like, and it's a very like well established official like the one basically for the area, and it's like that time was just not good, but they had to do it, and it's just crazy to think about. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's I think it's underfunded and under professionalized. A lot of wards and whatever orderlies I think they're called. Like don't even necessarily have psychology training. They're just thugs. Like literally like out of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Like that's literally based in reality. If you guys have ever read that book.
I have that book actually, but I haven't read it.
Apparently the movie version was inspiration for entirely, yeah.
There's actually a very very recent TV series called Ratchet that's about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which is Nurse Ratchet is the stereotypical like terrible, no bedside manner, like super cruel, sadistic nurse character.
Yeah.
So
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's our Unboxing Life Pod deep dives mental health hospitals.
Yeah, and another note on mental hospitals before we move on. I feel like that's like low hanging fruit for like horror games and horror movies in general. Like just the fact that it's like so degraded in like our society. Like the second we think of mental hospital, we think of bad things. Like it's the place that you don't want to be in, and like horror games will thrust you in there. Like it's just like it's abandoned. It's disgusting. There's blood everywhere. There's human experiments gone wrong. Like there's so many bad things that are associated with these sanitariums or whatever. I don't know.
I actually have somewhat of an existing nightmare of like ending up in like a mental hospital for some reason and like being perfectly fine but not being able to convince them that I'm fine. And like there's movies that use it as a gag too, of like a joke of, well, it's usually like the villain or whatever, like the joke villain that's like, I'm not crazy, let me out of here, and like since they're screaming they're like, quote, obviously crazy. So it's like a whole like that like scares me, is like that they can, you know, mandate and take away your rights and be, which like is kind of necessary sometimes. I don't know, it's fucked. It's a subject that we probably shouldn't get too deep into because it's a ridiculous rabbit hole, even though we're already here. But
we're an hour in,
maybe
we should probably stick to the album.
Yeah, I think we loop back after David.
Last thing I'll say is the situation you're talking about. Actually, there was a study done where I think these two researchers did that. They just like checked themselves into a mental hospital. That's it. And they said they're like hearing voices, and that was basically it. Like they had like these very specific symptoms, and then immediately they dropped all like signs of symptoms and said they were feeling better, and they like couldn't get out. They had to like. It took them very long to like reveal that they were researchers and like get out, and so like they did this actual thing. It was a crazy. It's kind of it's a relatively famous study in like psychology and that kind of thing.
That might be the most ballsy thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, I don't know how much it's been replicated, but
some researchers got a freaking screw loose. That's for sure. They're just like, you know what? For my research, I'll just give up like most of my life and live in a mental hospital. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
For sure.
All right.
Track 5, anyone? Disposable Davids?
Okay. We are
Disposable
here.
Daddy Davids.
We're doing disposable. Can I just say, I know that this song is good because I didn't know this song was 8 fucking minutes until a day ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I looked at the fucking clock on my Bluetooth shit when I was in the car yesterday, and I'm like, wait, 8 minutes? What the fuck? This is like a 4-minute song max. Like, this shit is so fucking good, bro.
You definitely get that way as well, where you just tunnel and you're just like not focused on the passage of time. Like where is it Save Me off of Nightmare? Yeah. That's like 11 minutes long, and you're like, I feel like the shit is like less than 5.
Yep.
That's you tend to do that, and I don't blame you for it because I kind of feel the same way. Like especially about this one. In terms of it being absurdly long and not feeling like it, because it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard.
I wanted to make this song my quote of the episode because God fucking damn, dude. Oh my God, let's just read this hook real quick. Let me get to this shit.
Okay.
Back to the front. You will do what I say when I say back to the front. You will die when I say you must die. Back to the front. You coward. You servant, you blood man.
Yeah, the way he yells back to the front is like
fucking
good. He switches back and forth between impersonating a general, lording over his infantry and stuff like that, and talking about his actual self. I wanted to make a slight comparison to a album I'm happy I can now reference, which is Sturgill Simpson's A Sailor's Guide to Earth.
Okay.
And that Call to Arms makes a similar bar about he says, will they send their sons and daughters off to die for some war to control the heroine? Well, son, I hope you don't grow up believing that you got to be a puppet to be a man. So there's that, and then the line in within Master Pup within this song is Soldier Boy made of clay, now an empty shell, 21 only son, but he served us well, bred to kill, not to care, do just as we say, finished here, greeting death, he's yours to take away. So the made of clay, empty shell was the losing your individuality part that Sturgill harps on quite a bit. So yeah, it's an intense one. Yet another one where they have, like I just read and like Trevor read, lots of stanzas of poetry that are nice and anti-war. And like you said, it comes out your throat. According to Wikipedia, sections of the song are at 220 BPM,
220,
which is 3.6 beats per second.
There you go.
The fucking main riff, I'm assuming, is 220 beats because that shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love this song very much, but there's only one part that never vibes with me super well, which is the melody of like the 21 only son and that riff.
Oh.
I don't love that part. I mean, I love the lyrics, but just I don't know.
I love that. That fucking bred to kill, not to care line, dude. That shit hits me every fucking time, man.
I mean, lyrically, yes. That's just that's my one small gripe, but the song is crazy. Continuing freaking for whom the bell tolls, and just a crazier, like giant, more of a song, I guess. Freaking, I don't know. There's so many things you could quote from it. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
I realized, recently listening back to it, that this album just has a very much an overall theme of control and, like, you could say oppression, people in power or systems, of power, just
or things in power.
Yeah, exactly. Just having control over people.
It's absolutely fucking brutal to think about, because you can think about it conceptually and be like, oh yeah, going off to die at war at a young age, but like this literally happened to millions of, especially Europeans, but like also just wars across history of kids that the line is like, looking back I realize nothing have I done, left to die with my only friend, alone I clench my gun, is like, oh, and life right before that is life planned out before my birth, nothing I could say, had no chance to see myself, molded but day by day. Like literally he was a child, presumably went through the school system and then just got sent off to die at war. Is like, that's your entire life. Like you were a cog in the machine from birth till death. Like that's so fucked up in general to think about.
That I was born for dying. Yeah.
Exactly.
Whenever
I was born for dying.
Yeah, whenever he's belting something out like that, it's important. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, it's important because he cuts out every fucking bit of the instrumentation. It's just him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think this is lyrically the strongest on the album for me.
That's up there. Yeah,
I find myself, as I listen to it, I think it's super hard for me to pick up on everything that they say just because there's so much going on instrumentally, which I feel like kind of works against it, because they hit you with these deep messages, and you have to like seek out the message to really get what they're saying. But really, you hear it for the first time, or you hear it through multiple times, and you're like, yeah, and you're not really like listening to the message.
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, there's like, listening to a bunch of metal and getting that ear, picking up on metal vocalists, and there's also just like, reading it, afterwards is, there's some more work you have to do sometimes, for sure.
I mean, and especially in the decade like the 80s, where I don't know how accessible the lyrics were, we could pull them up on our phones in 2 seconds right now. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe.
This is one of those things where you would probably have to read. You would probably have to read the little booklet that came along with the album.
Yeah.
Like that's why those were important, because they contain the lyrics to every song that's on the album.
Oh, interesting. There you go.
Yeah, they had that. Yeah.
So if you buy the album, you have the lyrics in print, then
correct.
Cool.
There you go. Yeah,
as well as the credits.
That definitely makes sense that they would do it like that. Because this is definitely yet another one that I'm glad I looked up on Genius. I think I'm doing that for every album we do from now on, because I mishear so many lyrics, and I like shit just goes over my head. Like if we just told Trevor, if I hadn't looked up the Master Puppets theme about being about drugs, I would not have picked that up. I would if I hadn't literally read through the lyrics and like clicked on the little highlights and said, this is referencing this is so yeah, it's the community helps for sure.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick apart early listening. It's cool. I like the idea of it rewarding you, like, the 50th time you heard, Master of Puppets, you're like, oh frick, he says,
right.
That's pretty cool. But it's for sure. They're doing their own thing, and they do not care who freaking likes it. I guess they seem to have that. I like that attitude of just at that point they were just trying to satisfy their artistic freaking endeavors basically, and just
Right.
That's how they got big. It's just like, yeah.
If you pick up on it, you pick up on it. If not, you're left in the dust, and that's fine. We don't need you as a fan.
Got Dua Lipa vibes saying you can't be bitter if I'm out here doing my thing.
God dang. Yeah.
I'm too drunk to know that song, but we're gonna roll with it because I know it's on Future Nostalgia. But yeah,
is it the song Future Nostalgia?
No. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You're trying to figure me out.
You can't be bitter when I'm out here doing my thing. Oh, it's showing my face. Is that? She says both, face. I think.
Yeah, she says face.
Another classic.
Anyhow,
you know what time?
Yet another song not on the album that we're spending time talking about.
Yeah,
which is my fault this time, fully. All right, you want to go on to the weakest track, the actual true weakest track on the album?
I'm gonna beat the fucking piss and shit out of you, brother.
What is this song, Trevor? Tell us what's so good about this song. Why is it?
This song is called Leper Messiah. This is numero umo. Umo, I'm dead inside. I'm dead inside. Yeah, you know, keep.
Uno reverse. Not to be confused with the Ginger Messiah, of course, who is more powerful.
Very true. The song is called Leper Messiah, and it is the hardest fucking song in this album for me. That might be a hot take. I don't know. I don't know how people feel about the song. I don't ever hear anyone talking about the song. But God fucking damn it. This shit is hard. I knew it was going to be hard when I heard Laura's going, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it just goes.
I love a
pride, baby.
I love a good old classic drum countdown. That's you love to see that.
Which fun.
I'm also pissed because like throwing back to Sanitarium, they end it with like the most classic way to end a song at a concert, where they just like start going ham with the fucking drum set at the end. I think it's that, right? Or am I like confusing that with another song?
For Sanitarium?
Where they he just starts going ham.
Yeah.
With like all his cymbals and all his fucking hits and shit. That's Sanitarium. Yeah, I love that part about Sanitarium. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah,
there you go.
I will say the guitar solo on this one is nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's just moving up and down like I don't know, like my hands would be ballistery.
I said he starts fucking up that guitar real good at 4 minutes. It was pretty freaking crazy. If for some reason, like I don't know what it was about it, if it was like similar in sound to a song that actually was on it, but like for some reason I was like, this could be directly on the WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 soundtrack. Oh, because that was like we talked about that before. That was like my introduction to metal as like a little freaking, what did I say? Was it 10 probably? So
yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I probably threw it on 2008.
So, hey man, that had a good soundtrack. Look that shit up. Got Godsmack on there, I think. So.
Yeah.
All right.
His childhood.
Yeah.
Hey,
the biggest Godsmack fan in the world, who was just starting to like us, just clicked off the podcast. Good job, Trevor.
Thank God. See ya.
Come on.
Go back to Mudbang, pussy.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
And now
that's funny as hell.
Well, they interacted, so we just win in the end. So
numbers is numbers.
Yes, dude, this song is very hard. This was the #1 sleeper hit for me for sure. When I was first listening to this, like I just didn't pay it that much mind. I sort of would always forget about it, and then it's like, and then it's just like it just comes up on shuffle of all these. It's like, oh frick, that riff is just like the heaviest freaking thing, just
dude.
And the way it hits that insane tempo change you're not expecting, like, and you guys are talking about, it just destroys the guitar. And then I think destroys it, I don't know what my favorite part is, but when it just goes like the it just the lead up back to just going to that original riff just always just killed me, bro.
Like, that riff is monstrous, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like a breakdown in and of itself, where he has that call out line of bow to Leper Messiah, and then it just goes, dude, fam. I get the stank face, bro. That shit is so hard, man.
Yeah, Leper Messiah is great. song inspired by I think televangelists. He was hearing it. They're talking about stories of Lars and freaking James would sit up late at night and watch like these television preachers and stuff. The type that like get the donations for the private jet and that kind of thing. Which,
Yeah.
Right.
Freaking what's his name? Never mind.
Make a contribution and you'll get a better seat.
Yeah, it's
tax free, baby.
Yeah, kind of nutty when you think about.
Marvel at his tricks. Need your Sunday fix. Blind devotion came rotting your brain.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
It's it almost could not be more direct. Freaking definitely picked up on the lyrical themes of this song. It's at one point he's just saying lie.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what's funny is that I thought he said die.
Yeah.
Like the whole time I thought it was die.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like that too.
He's Reaper.
Right.
Reaper
Died. Yeah, we would always say that when we play Overwatch. We were just like, oh, die on the point.
Shout out to the most overpowered bastard in Overwatch, Reaper, brother.
Yeah, as our resident Reinhardt man would say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that shit melts the shield.
God dang it.
It feels so good though.
I'm sure it does.
I'm sure it does.
David got oh my oh mood.
That's what he wanted to say.
Thank you.
Cuss out Reaper, David. Do it right now on the podcast.
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, it's all love to our Reaper mains, but frick you, bro.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't have too much else for this track. If it was Battle Leper Messiah like 17 times like looped and it was 5 minutes long, that's all I need, honestly. So
yeah, insane.
Yeah, I'm definitely
10-minute version.
I'm definitely not close to nearly as close to you and liking this song. But it's definitely not one I sleep on. It's definitely far from a skip, but it's not it's not one that I'm calling the best in the album. But I don't hate that.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's all I got.
Definitely pretty great that it's not even one people talk about, and it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, Leper Messiah is on it. It's just freaking great.
This is hard as shit.
Yeah.
A thought I had was that like it's kind of crazy all these songs that bang this hard are on the same album. Like that was kind of nuts. Like having like we agreed basically only the 1 week track is pretty fucking absurd.
Yeah,
there's no other weak track on here, like at all.
I can agree. Yeah, I can definitely agree. And I think the mixing, the budget, because we referenced that on Ride the Light and we talked about his voice sounding echoey and stuff sometimes. So, and you were saying it gets better, which it certainly does. As vocal mixing, the riffs can just hit you so much. I mean, harder. Ride the Lightning is still great, but like this is just like Leper Messiah. I'm listening to it in the car. And I'm like, Jesus, I got to turn this down. Like it's from 1986. Like, brother.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, they at that point they had enough money. I was reading the Wikipedia. They had enough money that they even said they didn't like the recording studio they had booked in America, so they decided to instead go and record in Dutch Denmark. So that was like a whole thing. Or is Dutch Netherlands? It's both. It's neither. No, it's Denmark. It's Denmark. Dutch is Denmark.
If you live there, let us know.
Let us know.
Fuck me.
Yeah, drop it down in the comments.
Yes.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, they went over to Europe to record because they decided that would be better for them. So that was the whole freaking thing. So yeah, the production value is definitely massive.
And just I heard they had like they were talking about how they had more confidence, so they would just play more aggressively in the studio. It's like dope, man. You can hear it. It's like as aggressive as possible. So.
Yeah, every song sounds like James Hetfield, whereas in Ride the Lightning, it wasn't the case. Like you had some Aussie vibes, you had some other vibes. You had every other song sounded like not like a different vocalist, but a somewhat different day. Whereas this is like a continuation of an idea, which is great. Plays to its strengths very much.
Yeah,
Dutch is the Netherlands. Final answer.
Okay, very nice.
Final answer.
Honestly, I'm not a geographer, so you could have told me it was in freaking France.
I think people from
I'm not
Denmark
a cartographer.
France.
We're not cartographers.
Oh,
yes, dude. Shout out.
How would you say? How would you say this next track in a French accent?
I would say the next track is the actual best track.
There you go.
Wow, okay.
We had to see it coming.
I like me some instrumental prog.
How would I say it in French? I would say Odeon.
I would say, oh, oui, oui.
Okay,
la
ooh
la.
la la.
Hey, David.
Oh, wee.
Oh, la la, oh, oui, oui.
All right,
Oh,
Alex.
very
Why
nice.
don't you
Yo,
take it
there's
into
gonna
us
be like
then?
a counter. Somebody's gonna give us a count of how many other things that we reference that's music that's not this.
Other musical
That's facts. Yo, when we get a solid fan base and they come back to this fucking episode, we're just gonna get a bunch of bullshit stats that mean nothing,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I'm totally here for. By
I
the way.
think the
Happy about it, yeah.
I definitely love that about these episodes is just the random ass rabbit holes and sidebars. So yeah, it's what we
Fuck
do.
the
Yeah.
show.
It's what we do.
Yeah.
That's how we have fun.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Just like
Alex,
Orion.
But
strongest track.
I don't know. I gotta
strongest track
think
in
for
the album for you.
instrumental.
Take it through it. Take us through it.
I'm with you, man. I fucking love instrumentals too, and I'm so glad that this is like a thing for them.
Mm.
I wish
Yeah.
this was the ender. I
Yeah.
wish this was
Yeah.
the outro, like it was with Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, with
But-
Call of Cthulhu.
You,
Yeah.
know, you can't win at all of them, but
Yeah,
I
I
kinda
can definitely appreciate them sticking to that, having an instrumental on there because there's just something about an instrumental that you throw on and you just like, ooh.
Yeah, you
I
can.
like
especially
that.
one that goes like 4 minutes in, it just goes into this psychedelic riff that just like
Yes.
chills you. I was like,
Yeah, it's,
and I'm like, oh my god, man, this is the
Yep.
best fucking band ever.
Metallica fan Trevor.
That's
Dude,
nuts.
I-
It reminds me of like that one album that you recommend that was on your top 10, Chon,
Mm.
when you just listen to it and you're like, damn. You don't. It doesn't need words. It speaks for
No.
itself.
No,
Yeah,
the vocals are not needed. The instruments just speak for themselves, man.
yeah.
Mhm.
You wouldn't want them. They get in the way. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah, go ahead.
apparently, well, we were talking about Call of Cthulhu and stuff, and freaking, I was talking about Cliff Burton a little, and I think this was like a really a one he had a huge hand in because he was apparently the only classically trained musician. He was their
Yeah.
bassist, and also had, could actually do that stuff. So, and I don't want to get this wrong, but I've heard this song is written in like as a sonata. I think it's a sonata, which is like sort of a classical structure to
Wow.
pieces of music. Very interesting things to hear about. Even the intro on Damage Inc. is based on a Bach piece, which is nutty, which he wrote, or he interpolated kind of, and which, like, Jesus Christ, it's freaking awful. He died on tour when they were on tour for this album, and the tour bus crashed.
Yeah.
And he was
damn.
he was 24. He was the same age as Trevor, and he freaking wrote these songs, and like it was in Metallica, and like was part of what made them great. That's insane. I can't even like imagine that. Like that's just nutty as frick to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was like,
Rest in peace. by the
It's
way.
a
Rest in
fucking
peace.
crazy way to go, man. It was the day after a show in Stockholm, I think. So they were in Sweden, and they like to be up on the stage, fucking rocking your heart out, and have like so much life ahead of you. And then the next day, you get ejected from a bus window that rolled down a hill and die is like just fucking robbed, man. And that happens, too often, man. So
It
yeah,
happens a lot. Yeah.
yeah, it's so awful. And all the other band members are there, just like they saw it happen. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
that's fucking horrendous. Yeah. So
Yeah, absolutely. Rest
to
in
him.
peace.
Yeah.
Had a giant impact, and whether metalheads, like fans of metal, know, whether people know it or not, had a giant impact. So, for sure.
Yeah. That's really intense.
Yeah, but
Orion.
definitely a masterpiece of instrument. Do you like this more than Call of Cthulhu, Alex? Or
Huh? Oh, I'm not sure.
I do.
I think I would say yes.
This is
Yeah.
more memorable.
But I
to
do
me
like the
than-
naming scheme of Call of Cthulhu more.
yeah, there you go.
But that doesn't do much for it. But
That's fair.
I like this one. Yeah.
This
I
is more
agree.
memorable for me. I can recall this more than I can Call of Cthulhu. I couldn't tell you a damn lick of that song, honestly.
Then.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back more and more, but I think I do like it more. But it's very memorable, like you said. I have a very specific memory of that. Like you said, psychedelic guitar kicks in. I think I was on a drive up to college, and it was like the sunset, and there were like these birds flying, and I was looking at the sky a little, like, God dang, I'm freaking like I felt something different. I don't know.
In it.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah,
Awesome.
instrumentals can evoke crazy emotions. Like, you just put whatever's going on like onto them, and it's just nutty.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of the Rorschach test of music, almost like that.
Yeah, great, man. Yeah, I kind of agree. It should be the closer, but the closer we do get is good.
It's still thrash metal 101.
For
Yes.
sure.
Damage Incorporated.
Yes, like you said, very similar to Battery.
Yeah.
I
Incredibly
think,
similar to Battery.
I think this one might be my favorite.
Oh wow. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like I said earlier, I'm having a really hard time ranking them. Not because they even sound the same. I'm not gonna say that and have Trevor snap my neck.
I'm glad.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Like that's not the reason I'm going that. Just the riffs are all so strong, and then like in several songs they just have, like you said earlier, they just fucking murder the guitar. So it's just like it's hard. It's really hard for me to rank them in any sort of sense. But I think the guitar solo on this one at 350. I think that's probably definitely my favorite solo on the album because that shit goes fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It just goes go and then just kicks in. Like,
yeah,
it's like we're going to write a freaking thrash metal song that will get you hyped. It is Damage Incorporated. Here you go. It's so like straightforward. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the most like quote unquote metal song in the album where it's literally just about like fucking killing people. It's like life is a disease and I'll be the cure is like one of the lines. It's like goddamn.
Yeah, I'd always thought it was about them, like, oh, we're cool, we're like Damage Incorporated, we're like crushing stuff. But then on Genius it says it's about like an evil corporation like crushing all life before it or whatever. So it's another one of those like like multiple interpretations. So I don't know. Definitely. I guess the corporation thing would go with the theme of the album overall.
Right.
But...
Yeah.
Especially considering his name Incorporated, Damage Incorporated. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. That's cool. I mean, it's great. I like it a lot.
I also think Damage Inc. is just a sick name for a metal song, just in general.
That is true.
Yeah.
Damage Incorporated.
And they say it like that on the song too, don't they? Like whisper it as the last line of the hook or whatever. Yeah.
Both folks, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very solid closer. Wraps it up. Real nice.
Does Trevor have a thing about saying incorporated over ink?
I mean, they literally say incorporated.
They really
in the song.
say Incorporated, yeah.
Yeah. But in the in
they don't say
Damage Inc.
Monsters Incorporated, but we say Monsters Inc.
That's true.
I don't think I've ever said Monsters Incorporated ever.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring to it.
Would you like to go on the Monsters Incorporated ride? What did you say? The Monsters Incorporated ride.
Yes, dude. Yeah. That's a nerd who's saying that for sure.
You know the one with Mike Sullivan and that's not his name. What is it? I don't know. Never mind. Mike Wazowski and
my goodness, I had
Michael
an
Wazowski.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I had an enigma earlier because I seen a trailer for Monsters Inc. in the past on an old movie, The Emperor's New Groove, and they came on, and then he was talking to Sully about the 5th grade, and I'm like, they knew each other in the 5th grade, and that doesn't make sense for Monsters University, but
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen that pointed out on like a Movie Details, either the subreddit or some Watch Mojo bullshit, where it was like top 10 Pixar things that don't make sense or whatever. So
spoilers if you haven't watched these movies, by the way.
I guess
it's 20 years old almost.
Monsters University is only like 8.
That's true.
Yeah. Monsters University isn't that.
Only 8 years old.
Not too much of spoiling Monsters University. I'm kind of.
No, you can spoil Monsters University.
I mean,
whatever.
I hadn't watched it till last year, so.
The Black Album is what 30 years old, and technically I could have that spoiled for me right now. The next one we get to, the next Metallica album coming up in 2 weeks. Look forward to that.
I keep thinking about Jay-Z.
When you say the Black Album, yeah,
this is the original Black Album.
Yeah, funnily enough, yeah.
The reason why they call it the Black Album is because it's literally a black black album art with a snake, and like it's their self-titled album. Like it's called Metallica.
Yeah.
But they call like the fan base calls it the Black Album.
Yeah.
And
no one calls it Metallica.
We will go over the
Black Album.
We'll go over
the back out it as the best thrash metal band alive.
Acts
about me.
Yes, dude.
We're back.
Yeah.
From Russian air bases to Grams and Grammys.
Okay. Yeah. How can you not think of it?
Do we want to just wrap this shit up? This album is fucking fire. It is a 10 out of goddamn 10, even with the third track.
Dang, okay.
Even with the third track, this shit is fucking fire. I am
Nice.
so glad that this is in like the Library of Congress that he was talking about earlier. Because God damn it, man, this shit is hard.
I'm glad.
35 years later, man, this shit is hard.
Yeah, it's pretty much a masterpiece. It's pretty great. Yeah, one of the most significant metal albums, period. You know, for a reason. You know, all that stuff.
The Wikipedia gushes on and on for paragraphs about the influence and extreme like importance of this within the genre, and it's it's not wrong. It's right to do so. It's just like it's almost written like fangirling almost. It's fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think the way they put it is like it had an indisputable effect on the genre for years and years to come, and I was like, sure, like sure, sounds good.
It absolutely did.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so love it, man. I don't know. This is it'll be interesting going to the Black Album from this. Covered a couple. We'll see what Trevor's making a certain.
I'm making that face, man, because it's gonna be difficult, but we'll do it.
I know a face is making. Have you listened yet at all?
I've heard the first half, and of the first half, there's like 4 songs on there that went like triple million, quadruple platinum. So I already knew them. So the Unforgiven, fucking Enter Sandman, all that shit. Sad but true. I've already heard them, so I haven't finished the album. No.
Yeah, I think this will definitely upcoming will be the one I'm definitely most familiar with, especially since Enter Sandman is on there. I think that basically qualifies it as the one I'm most familiar with in general. But the pod is working. I actually understood a lot of what Trevor was saying when he was talking about like the more breakdowns of the music terminology and stuff. So it's I'm glad that I'm getting a lot of this under my belt and building up a backlog, a library of stuff I can revisit and know that I do or don't like. So having a great time out here in these streets.
That is absolutely the point of our music box segment of this podcast, is to open our minds up to albums that we wouldn't necessarily like gravitate towards, but when we do, we got a hit on our hands. We enjoy life out here.
Yeah, right. Without this, I might have said, okay, I want to check out Metallica. I'll listen to like Enter Sandman would be like my exploration into Metallica, and so the fact that on this I'm like talking about probably they talk about their most influential album and all that stuff. I don't know if it's technically their biggest, but and then comparing that to another album that I never would have freaking listened to, which was Sturgill Simpson's Sailor's Guide to Earth. Like that, like these are conversations that I never would have had without the podcast. So that's fucking hype.
Right.
And I love doing this. Yeah.
Pretty great. Yeah.
Shit.
Bless you. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. Oh.
Dab on the haters.
There you go.
Bless you. May the demons leave your body.
Yeah.
May we slay those demons.
Dang. Feeling satisfied. Yes, dude. Loving our Metallica series so far. We'll see. I don't know what my favorite of these 3 will be, so we'll have to go explore the Black Album. And
wow, okay. I already know what my favorite is, so we'll
we'll see. This is, I think, a lot of people consider Black Album more of a transition out of thrash metal, so it's still metal, but it'll be hopefully a different thing. But
that's
more hard rock than anything. But we'll get to that.
That's the little I've heard about it, was that it split the fan base in a certain way. So, but like you just said, that's definitely a topic for when we cover the album itself. So
introduction controversy,
and when we all know more about it.
Yeah. So we hope you guys are looking forward to that, and thanks to you for listening to this. We are absolutely living it up, at 3 a.m. in the morning, like Eminem told you. Oh my God, I'm never getting to bed.
Baby.
Yeah, I hate that song.
You go to bed at this time anyway.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Keep on rocking in the free world.
Oh,
Nardwar. So yeah.
Anyway,
shout out to Nardwar.
Yo.
Human serviette. It's been real, everybody. Real as heck, as a metal band would say. Real as absolute heck.
Yep, I'm chilling. As David pointed out, it is late. This is probably going to take the cake for the latest time of recording ever.
Right.
For now.
The latest time so far.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. See what
Just taking
happens.
the record. That is what it means. I'm chilling. I'm living it up with my boys. And tell us what you think about Metallica. Tell us how much you love them. Tell us how much you don't love them. If you don't, I don't know. And you'll definitely hear from us. So with that, I'll say I love you all.
Hey, you, listen to me right now on the podcast. Go rate us on a podcast right now. Do it right now. Go do it right now.
Yes.
And then if you want to start a conversation with us on anything, we're at Unboxing Life Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and r/Unboxing Life Podcast on Reddit. We put all our podcast episodes up on Reddit, so there can be a conversation down in those threads for anything you guys want to talk about. Share your own thoughts. We'd love to, like I said, start a conversation with you guys. So let us know. Hit us up. And that's been it for me, I think. That's all I got to say. So I'll say adios, everyone.
Beautifully said, Cameron. Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should we review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here, down here, next to our heads is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or link to subscribe to the channel. Metallica, Unboxing Life Podcast, forever. And peace out, baby.